So find a comfortable position. Allow your hips to sink into the floor. Allow yourself to be invited into your body and join your breath. Close your eyes or gaze at the floor. Maybe roll out the shoulders or jiggle out the back a little. Take a couple of deep breaths before you then start to settle into your stillness. Relaxing your face, softening the eyes and the jaw. And finding that lovely length up through your spine from the tail to the crown. Draw your hands together. It's such a lovely gesture, bringing our palms together. It's the union of the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine energies within us. It's connecting the energy circuit in our body so the energy gets to flow unimpeded all the way through. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice and for your weekend. And choose an intention that you will remember and one that will guide you through not just this practice today, but through your whole weekend. Kind of like the little light that will shine the path. Choosing to live in the flow of life, letting go of the things that do not help and do not serve. And let's chant Om together 3 times, taking a deep breath in. Keeping your eyes closed, and this time interlacing your fingers, turning your palms out gently, opening your eyes as you reach those hands up. Breathing and finding that lovely openness through the chest, through the back. Have a little jiggle around here. Release the arms, reach up and over, and really reach into your opposite hip as well, so you feel the stretch from the hip out to the fingers. Breathe into it, lengthen into it. Inhale, raise up. And reaching up and over to the other side. Beautiful, lovely space through the side of the body. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, fingers to the ground. And exhale, lion's breath, tongue out, fingers up. Inhale, down. Exhale. Nourish that body. 2 more times. Last one. Really get that tongue out there. It's just you at home. Beautiful. Interlace those fingers. Take the hands up. Reach it up again and repeat. Exhale, come up and over, maybe reaching a little further. Reach into the opposite hip there. Connecting both sitting bones to the ground and inhale up. Exhale, coming over. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, opposite hand to opposite knee. Breathe in to find length first, and from that belly button, Start to rotate on your exhalation, using that leg as leverage, sitting up nice and tall. Every inhale bringing more length up through the spine, and every exhale maybe giving you a little more space to rotate a little deeper. But be kind with yourself, be gentle. Make sure it's all comfortable and it feels good. Stiram Sukham Asana, stable, comfortable posture or seat. Inhale back to center and reach for the opposite knee. Breathe in, find length first. Sit up tall, feeling all of that lovely energy through your body as you breathe out there, and you can start to rotate, giving your back a lovely little massage, your abdominal organs a lovely little massage as you twist here. Shoulders moving away from your ears so that you feel the stretch down the neck and across the shoulder as well. And release out. Change the cross of your legs, and you might start to feel that energy moving through the side of the body. Inhale, take the hands up again. Exhale, hands down, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up and reach over to the side and back to center. Reach to the other side. Cross leg on this side is not as comfortable for me today. Inhale up and twist as you exhale, lifting and lengthening on your inhale and twisting a little deeper. So noticing the body giving you more space. Our second time around. Breathe into it. I think we just lost someone. Now they're back. Inhale, come in, come up. And exhale to the side. Breathe in and lengthen. Inhale back to center. Hands on your knees. And allow yourself to roll around those hips. Breathe in and find your way through the lower body. Roll back the other way. Sitting up nice and tall, and exhale, round into a little cat stretch, rocking back on that pelvic bowl. Inhale, rocking forward, chest lifting, lips together so you get to stretch the throat as well, and moving at your own pace here. And a couple more. Feeling your way from the base of the spine all the way up to your crown. And coming back to your neutral spine when you're ready, and release those legs, shake them out. You can lean back and rock them out a little bit. And walking those sitting bones back, sitting up nice and tall, hands by your side. Draw your toes towards you so you feel that stretch down the back of your legs. You can have the fingers supporting you, lifting up through the crown. And if you want, you can let the chest open out here. And then reaching for your toes or your ankles or your knees, or using a strap if you need it. Breathe the heart forward. Look for lots of lovely length there. And you can start to bring yourself a little deeper into the pose. Breathe deeply. So allowing that stretch to come along the back. If you need to soften the knees, go for it. If you're not feeling any along the back, see if you can lengthen yourself. Chest towards those toes a little more. Lengthen out that spine. Or if it works for you, maybe round it slightly. Just see where you can connect in to the back area and get a little gentle stretch. Not overdoing it, just finding what feels good here. And every breath, notice that it takes you a little closer to your thighs, and maybe that becomes more intense for the legs. So again, ease up. If you're getting any kind of tingling, definitely ease up, because that probably means you're actually pinching a nerve and not doing yourself any favors. My teacher used to tell me it was the movement of prana, but it's actually just trapping nerves. And inhale, release out. And shake that off. Let's bring our right leg over the top of the left, sitting up nice and tall. Again, walk those sitting bones back and walking forward again. You can hold the leg or you can just hold the floor or use a strap, and now you should get a nice big stretch along the back of that left leg. It might even come up the left side of your lower back. Breathe deeply, ease off if it's too intense. Really just check in, observe what's going on with your body, feel your way through the body, all the way from the heel to the crown. And honor yourself. Treat yourself with kindness, ahimsa. That is the very, very first rule in Patanjali's 8 limbs. And release out. Release that leg, shake it out. The 8 limbs of yoga, that is. If you're not familiar, that probably sounded a bit weird. He has 8 limbs? Take your left leg over the top. Sitting up nice and tall, you can always raise your hips. Yes, you can always raise your hips if you need to. And then walking forward over this right leg. Noticing how it feels. My left leg is always much tighter, although my hips are a little tight at the moment, so I can feel my glutes quite intensely. Breathe. Inhale, release out, release those legs, shake them out. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into your butterfly pose. And again, you can walk the flesh out from underneath your sitting bones. Raise the hips if you need to. Grab that cushion off the couch and lift the sitting bones. Breathe, length up through your spine. And try and come forward without rounding the back, so if it's only a little bit, that's all good. And as you do that, think about trying to spiral your inner thigh muscles up and back, and that will let the knees open up. If you want, you can use your elbows to push them down even more. Keep looking for length through your spine, keeping your sitting bones connected to the ground so that they're not tipping off. Just stop where you need to. Take the journey, long, slow journey today, but a very enjoyable one. Every breath guiding you and inviting you. So Cheryl was asking me earlier about what's happening as we go down our levels, and I am actually going to write a little email about it, but level 3 we won't be able to open, so we will continue doing what we're doing. Once we get to level 2, we'll reassess, and if we do open, it will probably be with a reduced timetable, and we'll still have some Zoom classes, because I think there's still a lot of people, and I know there's a lot of people at the Yoga Pantry who actually can't come to physical classes because of partners or their own health. So we'll definitely keep Zoom classes going as well. And we'll just keep on reassessing. And we might keep a couple of Zoom classes permanently anyway, we'll see. Inhale, raise up. Bring those knees in, give yourself a lovely hug. And then release. Oh, shake that out. Let's lie down on our backs and get a good stretch here. So stretch out those hip flexors going down. Feet together, interlace the fingers. Lovely full body stretch. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And let go. Walk your feet over towards the right, coming into our crescent moon or in our bandhana asana. And walk your shoulders to the right as well. Now you can either have the arms up above your head, you can hold onto your elbows, or just have the arms loose. And if you like, you can place your right foot over the top of your left ankle and draw down through the left side of the body so that your left hip connects to the floor just as much as the right hip, and the left shoulder connects just as much as the right shoulder. That's how you'll feel that stretch, right down the left side of your body. Breathe deeply, send that breath all the way down to the toes, visualizing it. Obviously, we can't feel that happening, but we can visualize it. Thinking of the breath as part of the pump of your body that sends the lymph through the body as well. So lovely deep full breaths will let the lymph flow all the way through the body, and also will send the prana, that life force energy, through your body as well. And wherever you send your awareness and your attention, the prana will flow there. Breathe, 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 breathe. Look for more length. You can deepen this crescent shape as your body opens up more and gives you permission to get in even more. Keep drawing the left side down. You can even hold on to the left wrist if you like and pull it towards the right if that gives you more stretch. Some people don't feel much in this pose and other people feel a whole lot. So just monitor what's going on and treat yourself with love and kindness and reverence. And then soften, walk your shoulders back to center first. Ah, man, my body's stiff. Walk your heels back. Draw your knees in and give yourself a hug, nose between the knees. This is a lovely counter pose to that big stretch. Release out again. Walking your heels over towards the left. Yes, unless I said that before. Your shoulders over towards the left as well. Left foot can come over the top of the right, draw down through the right side of your body. Arms can come overhead or they can stay down if your shoulders give you difficulty. You can clasp your right wrist and draw it over towards that left side. Continue to draw down through the left buttock so that you feel the stretch. Just keep on playing and adjusting until you feel the connection to this pose, this beautiful posture that helps to lengthen out one side of your body and compress the other side. It helps to stretch out the obliques and the lats on one side of the body, as well as the intercostal muscles. They're the ones that are kind of coming around the front at the top of the ribs. Breathe into that. Try and relax the neck. Make sure that you're not holding tension in the neck area. And then readjust your shoulders back to center. Readjust your legs back to center. Bring those knees in. Give yourself a hug. And we're going to flatten out the back by coming into a happy baby. Another lovely hip opener as well. So grabbing feet or ankles or knees. Have a little rock around. Enjoy this beautiful pose. My partner always asks me, did you do Happy Baby in class? Because it's his favorite. I think it's just the name, because he doesn't ever do it. And then give those legs a lovely kick out. We're going to start to rock and roll. If rock and rolling is not comfortable for you, then just roll from side to side. Breathe and allow that beautiful massage along your spine and your buttocks as well. Now we are going to rock and roll ourselves all the way up to standing. If that doesn't work for you, just make your way up comfortably and safely. But if you're comfortable with a good little tucking of the feet underneath the butt and coming straight up, go for it. Reach those hands up, interlace the fingers, stretch up when you get up to your standing position. Breathe out to the side. And back to center, feet together if you can here. And up to the other side. And back to center. And then exhale, release those hands. Roll out the shoulders. Lovely big rotation. I wish I was on Alan's deck. That looks lovely doing yoga outside. Roll back the other way. Maybe I'll take my computer outside one of these days. And coming to the top of the mat, we'll warm ourselves up fully with some sun salutes. So loosen all of that up. Feet together or hip width apart, hands in front of your heart space. Let's just settle into our Tadasana for a moment. Feel into your heels. Feel into the ball of the foot. Let the tailbone drop to the ground and find just a little softness in the knees, a little micro bend. Not so much that you can see it, but you can definitely feel that the knees are not locking back. Let the belly draw in gently. And the hip bones point towards the sky as the tailbone points towards the ground. Bring your awareness to your spine. The very, very base of the spine. Follow the curves. In and out, all the way up to the base of the skull, and then send that energy right up through your crown. Try and keep the weight even in the feet. Soften the gaze. Relax the jaw. Find this lovely sense of stability and groundedness. And then inhale, sweep those hands up. Reaching it up and back if it feels good, otherwise just straight up. Exhale, bow. You can bend your knees as much as you need to make your way down to the ground. Let's hang. You can have the knees bent still, or in this position you can start to shoot your sitting bones towards the ceiling. Relax the head and neck. Make sure there's no tension there. If you like and you're already feeling a little bit more stretched out, you can grab hold of the back of the legs and draw yourself towards your thighs. If you want, you can also clasp your hands behind you and let your shoulders come forward. So choose anything that feels good. You can grab hold of your big toes, or you could step onto your hands. Or you can have your hands on your thighs and be a little higher. Just finding what feels so good for you this morning, what feels right. Breathe. And then let's release and press through the feet. Lift halfway. I never remember what this one's called in Sanskrit. And lengthen out through the tailbone, lengthen out through the crown. And exhale, fold. Right foot steps back into that first low lunge. Rock out those ankles. Drop your back knee, breathe in. Bringing the arms up if you feel like that is the thing to do. Exhale, circle them around, inhale them up. Exhale, spread that weight through that front foot. Draw your hips back to center. Exhale and inhale. And release, step back first, downward facing dog. Tread it out. Walk your dog. Reach up through your sitting bones and think about rolling your armpits in towards your face. Connect down through the base of the thumb and the index finger and down through the pads of the fingertips. Lovely big energized down dog. Reaching your heels towards the ground. If it's uncomfortable for the shoulders, draw your ribs into the back of the body. If it's comfortable for your shoulders, you can let the ribs come forward. But just be mindful that that can weaken the upper body if you're not strong there. And then draw yourself up to a mountain cat, so up to your toes, round the back, let the chin tuck. Feel the weight shifting forward here. Exhale, lengthen the body back into your downward facing dog and up into your mountain cat, and continue to roll through to your plank. Beautiful big wave, and then modified plank. And then elbows back towards the hips as your chest lands forward of your hands, chin to the ground as well. Ashtanga Namaskara. Release everything to the floor, shrug the shoulders back, breathe in and peel your heart up into a cobra that is comfortable for your body. Doesn't have to be high at all. Make sure the elbows remain bent, make sure your hips connect to the ground. Exhale, release. Shrug the shoulders back and draw the belly in and press your way up either a modified plank or a full plank. And downward facing dog. Breathe those sitting bones to the sky. Let's take our left leg up into that dog split and really stretch it out there. Press down through the right heel. Lift and lengthen up through that right leg. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then step it through. And we will drop the back heel down and come up to a warrior one. Breathe into that warrior one. So back heel is either lined up with front heel or slightly off to the side so that you've got balance. If warrior one's uncomfortable, then just come into a high lunge. Hips trying to point forward if they can. Little arrowhead because it's a nice way to stretch that back leg. Reach into the back heel as you reach your hands back and lengthen your body out. Inhale, raise up, warrior one. Gazing up if that feels good for you, otherwise just forward or down. Exhale, release. Step to the top of your mat. Hang on out here. And then press and rise all the way up. Hands in front of your heart. It's a good body stretch. Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep it up. Breathe it up and back. Or just straight up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, bow. Lift footsteps back. Rock it out. Get rid of those clicks and creaks. I almost rolled my ankle yesterday walking up Mount Eden. Well, I actually did, but luckily it didn't do any damage, and it was the same ankle that I damaged last time. But it's all good today. Drop your back knee, draw back through that right hip crease, bring those hands up. If you want, they can always stay down. Circle. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Stay nice and strong through that front foot. Breathe it up and down. Draw the belly in. Inhale up. Last one. Take that down. Bring it up. And step back, downward facing dog. Reach up to that down dog, press up to the toes, mountain cat pose, round the back, press the floor away. Let's walk our hands in slightly, just a little deviation in our sun salutes. Something I like to do. So that we're in a nice short dog, and you can bring your right hand in either just to touch your foot, or you can reach for the back of the leg, or you can reach all the way down to the heel. Press through the feet and draw yourself through the window. If this is uncomfortable for you, just do a normal down dog. And if that's too much, come down and do some cat-cow stretches. Breathe and hold. Stay strong through that left arm. Draw yourself through a little more with the right arm. So it's the right arm to the left foot, left knee, in case you were wondering. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that out. And then left hand to the right foot or near the right foot or anywhere along the back of the right leg or down to the heel. Press through that right arm and rotate. Whoops, my necklace managed to turn off the music. How about that? Rotate yourself a little deeper into this pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Walk yourself forward into an upward facing dog, or if you prefer a cobra is all good. Feet can be tucked or flat. Totally cobra out if that's better for you. Or you can do a lazy up dog by having the legs on the ground. If you're stronger, legs off the ground. Glutes energizing, chest opening. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck everything under and up you go to your downward facing dog. Breathe. That'll be the hardest thing we do today. Hips to the sky. Breathe into it. Right leg up into a dog split. Reach down into that left heel and really point the foot of that right leg and really reach it to the sky. So you really do feel that split happening. It doesn't matter if the leg doesn't go up high. Keep your armpits pointing to the ground. Weight even in the arms. Relax your head. Keep reaching. Feel this beautiful big full body stretch. And then go ahead, soften that leg and step it through and prepare your feet for a warrior 1. So you can always bring that left foot in slightly. Adjusting your feet alignment, heel to heel, or that left foot out to the left a little more. Bending the front knee, drawing up through the core and rising up. You can always readjust at any moment of your pose. Draw the belly in, lengthen through your spine. Shoulders can come down away from you so you feel that broadness across the back, or you can reach them up towards your ears so you feel that lift and that length through the shoulders. Keep the belly in though and keep your ribs in so that there's a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of strength happening in the body. Let's reach into our arrowhead pose. Reaching back into that back left heel, lengthening through the chest and drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Weight trying to maintain that even distribution through the legs. Press and rise up. If you want, you can gaze to the sky. Bring the palms together, getting that stretch down the left side of your hip flexors. And then exhale. Down you go. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, raise up. Exhale. Hands in front of your heart space. Bring those arms behind you. Interlace the fingers and let the shoulder blades come together as you let the chest open out. Keep softness in the knees. If it's okay, you can check in with looking down or just look straight up. And then maybe looking up, see how that changes, how the shoulders react. And then looking forward, lifting the arms back a little more. And release. Release it out. Give yourself space. Loosen up the body. Lovely way to loosen up the body is with our dynamic spinal twist. Kati Chakrasana. Soft knees. Feet can be hip width or shoulder width or wider. And then allow those arms to swing around you. Now don't drop the head. Some people drop the head in the spine here. There's no point doing that. Lots of length through the spine. And allow yourself to start to rotate. Maybe even 180 degrees to look directly behind you. Soft knees, soft ankles, soft hips so that there's mobility there. Breathe. Really go for it. Let those arms be completely loose. That's what helps to loosen up all of the upper back region and the shoulders. And the bonus here, let the arms or the hands tap your kidneys or your shoulders. And the other bonus, of course, is that this is great to tone the waist and the thighs. Breathe deeply. If you get dizzy, stop and do a static twist instead. Keep the breath steady. Almost there. And then start to slow it down. Ooh. Just come to a neutral position. A gentle Tadasana. Maybe turn the palms forward. Close your eyes or just gaze to the floor. Feel the waverings in your body. Gentle hands. You don't have to point your fingers to the ground. Just let them curl. Probably feeling your body still in motion. And allow it to find its center again. And then gently opening your eyes, inhale, take those hands up. Reach up and back and exhale, fold to the ground. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into your downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, dog split. And then bring your right knee towards your right wrist, coming into pigeon pose. If pigeon isn't good, come onto your back instead and thread the needle. Or you can do a version of pigeon where you bend your back knee and you bring your front foot up a little higher. This is called deer pose. If you're comfortable coming into pigeon, extend out through your back leg. If you prefer thread the needle instead, you can absolutely do that, or even use the wall as a prop. And if you're in pigeon, square those hips up. Make sure that front knee is comfortable. Let the chest open. If you're in thread the needle, check the leg that you're holding onto and you can move it slightly off to the side and you'll get even more connection to your glutes. And then coming into your reclined pigeon when you're ready. You don't have to come down. You can come halfway down. You can come all the way down. If that is quite comfortable for you and you want to add another shoulder stretch, you can thread your left arm through towards that right knee. And bring your right arm behind you, either tucking it behind or maybe even holding your foot. Surrender into whichever pose you are in. Thread the needle is always a lovely option. It's basically the same thing. And for some people, they might feel more connection into the glutes and thread the needle rather than pigeon. And for some people, they might feel more in the old deer pose. And of course, if you are in your pigeon and you want to increase that stretch, you can walk away from the knee towards the left side. Just make sure the knee is happy about that little decision there. Inhale, come back to center. If you're choosing to thread the needle, just go to the other side. If you're in pigeon, tuck that back foot, lift yourself up and tread into your downward facing dog, especially with that right leg. Give it a good stretch out, but also make sure that you pump the energy, the synovial fluid through the knee. And then when you're ready, left leg up into that dog split, stretching into the right leg, and then take it through to your pigeon pose on the other side. Extending out through that right leg, checking the foot is nice and straight. Breathe up through the heart. Pad up the hips if you feel like you're getting pulled over to one side. Find this length first. Create that lovely openness to the chest. This lovely big pigeon chest here. Inhaling, and as you exhale, then you can start to work your way down, or you can always stay up in that pigeon pose. And of course, if you want, you can thread right arm through to left hand around behind you, maybe even grabbing your foot. Breathe into it. And you might find that this side requires a slightly different pose to connect to that glute. And you can always choose a different option, deer or thread the needle. The sides don't have to do the exact same pose, they just want to get a very similar feeling. And you can get that from very different poses. Breathe into it. We will go slightly over because we started 8 minutes late, so we'll go 8 minutes later. If you need to leave early, that's all good. Inhale, rise up, and instead of pushing back to a down dog, you can if you want. We're just going to lean out of that and take our legs out in front and window wiper them out from side to side. Give that knee that was underneath you a nice little pump out. Now we're going to open up the chest and build a little strength in our arms with our reverse tabletop. So feet pointing forward, fingers also pointing forward. Finding a position that you feel like it's really going to support you. Feet hip width apart, arms shoulder width apart. Spread the hands so you've got good foundations here. And then lift up through the chest. Don't worry so much about jamming the hips up. Let the chest open. If it's comfortable, you can gaze back. If it's not, just gaze up or forward. Breathe into it. Keep the belly slightly lifted. Not lifted, drawn in. And keep the glutes slightly contracted so that you've got strength and connection through your core. And then really try and open up the heart space. And release down. I know this one is quite tough for some people and easy for others. It's all about building that strength in your triceps. So here we go again. Press up. You can always come down earlier. And you can always be a little lower with the hips. Breathe into it. Open up. And then come on down. And of course, for those of you that are much stronger and love a little bit of a challenge, we can do a reverse plank. Just continue to do a reverse tabletop if that's the one for you and that's already challenging. Otherwise, reverse plank. Feet straight out. You're going to roll over the feet and lift the hips up. Opening out the heart. Breathe and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the gaze. Draw down the hips. Release, and we're just going to round out the back as we roll forward. Knees can soften and bend. Round out so we get that stretch through the low back again. Let the head drop so you get a stretch through the neck. Let the shoulders relax down. Soften. Breathe deep. Inhale, come up. This is a weird one called Bu Naman. Sitting up nice and straight, hands over to your left side. Breathe in, and we're just going to trying to keep your hips connected to the floor, trying to bring your nose to the ground. Actually impossible, but it's the thought that counts. I guess someone somewhere can do it, but not me. Inhale, come up, and then hands to the other side. Hips to the ground and trying to bring your nose to the floor. Just a little side stretch here. Inhale up. Now reaching for your left foot with your right hand. You can bend the knee to start off with if you need to. Sitting up nice and tall and reach back through your left arm. And then lengthen through the spine and start to rotate to look back at that left hand. Breathe. You can always use a strap here as well. And release. And again, you can bend that right leg, grab hold of that foot if you like, or keep it straight. Let the body lean towards that leg. Lengthen out through the spine, and then start to twist and reach back through that right arm. Gazing back to the back wall. You get a twist here, but you also get a little stretch along the side of the body and in the hips. Especially if you are feeling tightness there. Breathe into it. You can even take the arm back even more. Shoulders away from your ears and release. Shake it out. Cross the legs comfortably. Sit up nice and tall, raise your hips if you need to. Drop your chin to your chest, interlace your fingers, drop the hands to the back of the head and let the elbows drop to the floor. Do not pull the head down, just let the weight of the arms and gravity do the work for you. Feel that stretch spread down the side of the neck, across the shoulders and down the back. Ease up if it's too intense. Inhale, come up. Bring those arms out to the side. Touch your shoulders. Drop the elbows down. Inhale, take them up. Maybe even touch them in the front. It's alright if they don't touch. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up and reverse. Back the other way. Breathe around that whole shoulder girdle. And one more. And then loosen it up. I'm going to do a little neck stretch, but also a mini facelift. Left hand out to the side, right hand up overhead, and our first two fingers are going to come to the corner of the eyebrow and the lower corner of the eye, and just allow that the hand then to draw the face up slightly. And we're going to drop the ear down towards the right. And then we're going to stick the tongue out down to the floor on the right and take 3 lion breaths. So that looks like this. And you really want to stick that tongue out, you'll feel the stretch even more. Off you go, 3 of them. and then release. Oh, shake it out. Does the side of your face feel a little more alive and lifted? Bringing your left arm up, right hand out to the side, those two fingers coming to the corner of the eye, drawing the skin up, drop the ear down towards the left, draw your shoulders down, tongue down to the left, 3 lion's breaths. And then release. So there's a nice mini facelift, a little stretch for the neck and shoulders. Loosen it all out. Give yourself a hug and then rock from side to side. You might hear some crunching and crackling going on. I do. What's that all about? Too much hunching over my laptop. And sitting on my couch in a really awkward position. And then release. Cross your arms the other way and off you go again. And then release. Now you can sit in a cross-legged position, you can sit in a half lotus position if you like. We're going to do Yoga Mudrasana. I'll show you from the back. So cross leg or half lotus, grab hold of your wrist, right hand grabbing hold of the right wrist, and breathe in, find length, and then come forward. If this is uncomfortable for you, then by all means just use your hands. But for those of you that are comfortable, you can come all the way down. Take 3 deep breaths. You can also just take your forehead to a cushion or a block or something for more support. Or use your hands or your fists underneath your forehead if you need to. Inhale, come up, and we're going to swap the cross of our legs. So either just a nice easy cross-legged position or a half lotus. I don't really go in for full lotus because I think it's too intense on a lot of people's knees. A lot of people get damaged by doing the lotus position. Grab hold of your opposite wrist, sit up nice and tall, and lean forward. And it might just be that you're up high. That's all good. Or you can come all the way and bow to the ground. Breathe into it. This is a lovely meditative pose. It's a lovely restorative pose for some. And it is a pose that brings you into a sense of introspection, a little bit of pratyahara, withdrawing your senses from the outer world and allowing you to really connect to your inner world. Inhale, rise up, and let us release those legs, give them a little kick out, straighten it out, come on down to the ground, and let's just stretch our legs out for a moment, interlace the fingers, lengthen out your body, give yourself a little wriggle, and release. Take your feet to the edges of the mat and let your knees drop in. So now we get a nice internal rotation of the hips. Alternatively, if you prefer, you can come into a reverse child's pose where you just grab your knees and let the back flatten into the ground. So this lets the lumbar spine flatten into the ground. The active restorative pose, active relaxation here, allows the lumbar curve to curl away from the ground and reset its natural position. So find what feels good for you. And take 5 deep breaths. If you're in our active restorative pose, maybe right hand on belly, left hand on heart space. And if you're in that reverse child's pose, you can swap the grip so the other hand comes over the top after 2 or 3 breaths. And do another 2 or 3 breaths. Holding the other side. So let your body relax. Let the hips soften. Let your back soften. Relax your jaw, relax your neck, relax your eyes, relax your shoulders. Connect with your intention. Did you honor that intention through your practice today? Did you honor yourself through your practice today? Reminding yourself that yoga is more than just exercise. It really does reach us on a far deeper level than just a good old stretch, even though that feels good. The lasting effects of your asana carry with you through your day and compound over time. And you find yourself less reactive, much calmer and more contented with life. Once you've done your 5 or 6 breaths, feel free to roll around, do any other pose that you feel maybe you'd like to do right now, and then release yourself into Shavasana when you're ready. You can always take those legs up the wall or come into a child's pose or a flapping fish, or find a comfortable Shavasana by placing some blocks or some cushions underneath your knees or a nice flat cushion underneath your head, especially if your shoulders are quite rounded. Allow the floor to greet you. Allow your breath to be easy and soft. Allow your mind to connect with your breath, the sensations in your body. And just allow any other thoughts to drift away. Soften your kneecaps, soften your ankles, soften your buttocks, soften your back, soften your belly, soften your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders, your face. Start to draw your awareness back to your body, back to that breath. Allow yourself to wriggle and stretch and find space. Feel free to curl up and eventually find your way back to a comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes closed or gaze to the floor. Bring the hands together once more in front of your heart space. Connecting to that beautiful yin and yang energy, the masculine and feminine that is within us all. The balance of warmth and coolness, dark and light, energy and rest. Noticing how the body feels now. And taking in a few moments to think of at least 3 things that you're deeply grateful for today. Allow that gratitude to spill over and pour out of you into your room and into your home and into the neighborhood. I will chant the Shanti mantra together 3 times, chanting Om Shanti, 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 to bring peace to ourselves, peace to our friends and our families, and peace to the world. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bow your head slightly, sending thoughts of love and gratitude to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit. And sending those thoughts out to the rest of the world. Keeping your eyes closed and rubbing your hands together. And either placing your palms across your heart or over your eyes. And gazing into that space, connecting with your inner wisdom. And spreading that prana all over your body.